Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to Twisted Guidance Tarot. I am Poetry. You are here for another unboxing. You're like, damn girl, how come you do so many unboxings? I love art, okay? And so a lot of these tarot decks be calling me. They be calling the sister. But this time, I got this one as a gift. Yes, and I got it as a gift for my daughter. So this is not... this is truly not an unboxing or first impressions because I opened it up a couple days ago and I recorded the video and I didn't like the video. So like you couldn't see the quality of the cards. So I figured I was gonna do it again. So I was shopping on Amazon, looking at different decks and everything. And I was talking to my tarot professional group and they were mentioning that some decks that the elements are represented differently. Like most decks, the wands are fire because you think of a stick, a match, strike that baby, fire, you know what I'm saying? And the swords for some reason represent air. I never understood why the swords represent air, except that they are flung around in the air. That's the only reason why I could think that the swords was representing air. But there are some older tradition decks, some more decks that I want to say more Wiccan style decks that the elements are switched, which being the wands would be air. And you can see when the people do magic with wands, they're swinging them in the air. When they speak, when a director is, orchestrating the orchestra symphony. I don't know what that's called. Is he an orchestrator? I don't know. But he got his little wand, and when the teacher's on the blackboard, she's teaching with. So you think of wands in that fashion. And so with the swords, which is actually how I kind of relate it more, the swords are forged by fire. You know what I'm saying? You have to put that baby in there, get that iron melted down, and there's so much passion and rage used behind wielding a sword. You're fighting, and like the fire element is passion and destruction and rage and tension, and it's a whole lot of stuff with the fire element. So I could see the swords and the fire, going hand in hand. So people were giving me a couple decks to look at, and I stumbled across one that I didn't even realize had this changing element, and that was the deck that my daughter bought me. I had put it in my shopping cart, and so she told me I couldn't buy no more tarot decks this year, so I was waiting to buy it for next year, and she bought that mug for me. So Merry Christmas to me. Merry Christmas to me. It's not Christmas Day, but it's Christmas time, and this is my Christmas gift from my daughter, this Modern Spellcasters Tarot. This is the book is authored by Melanie Marquis, and the cards are illustrated by Scott Murphy. Scott Murphy, I want to tell you, sir, I love your artwork. I adore the artwork in this deck. One of the reasons why I wanted to buy this deck was because of how diverse it was. And when I say diverse, I'm not speaking of specifically inclusion. A lot of times, a lot of these tarot card creators, they will throw some black people in there, throw some disabled people in there, throw some fat people in there, and that's being inclusive of other people. When I see diversity, he has elves, fairies, gnomes, humans. It's almost like a fantasy-like world. There are red people, purple people, green people, black people, white people, Asian people, Native Indian people, West Indian people, Caucasian people, African diaspora people. All of this is in this deck. I think we got some centaurs. Everything is in this. This deck is lovely, y'all. Lovely. And I love that the images on this deck kind of differ than the average tarot deck. I get a lot of people debating with me on the tarot group about the Rider-Waite deck, and how that is the end all to the be all as far as tarot, and it's the only thing that should be considered tarot. If it ain't 78 cards that's illustrated based off of that deck, then you ain't doing tarot. Y'all, the people who created that deck stole that idea from somebody else anyway. The Golden Dawn Tarot was out way before the A.E. Waite Tarot, and they took it and they revised it and made it their own. They took a deck of playing cards, okay, a deck of playing cards, and they add their own divination and thoughts and theories to the deck and called it their own. So tarot didn't start with the A.E. Waite Rider-Waite Tarot deck. Let's just start that there. So anything can be considered tarot. And because it doesn't follow the same structure does not mean it's not tarot. And because we read intuitively does not mean we're not doing tarot either. But I got this deck and my mama was like, my daughter's turning into a witch. I was like, no, I'm not turning into a witch. But because it's called Spellcaster Tarot. Now this book here that started on off has a flip top box. Y'all know I love me a flipper, a magnetic flipper. When I create my tarot deck, because I am creating one, when I create my tarot deck, it's going to have this type of box, y'all. I love it. So you pop that baby open. You got your little silly string in there so you can pop everything out in one fell swoop. We have a thick handbook. It's not a guidebook. This is a handbook, baby. What I love about it, it's like I say, Scott Murphy, you did the damn thing on the illustrations. The pictures are so beautifully done in the book, not just on the deck, in the book. We have color images. That's the death card, y'all. Just like, you know, I haven't read it. Because I know I try not to, like, I try not to. Some people find it disrespectful that I don't try to find what the author meant about when they painted it. Like when I look at art, when I go to an art gallery, I look at the artwork and I see what I see in the image to see how it relates to me and what information I could draw from it. And if I want to learn more, then I go research what the author meant about it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't have to have the author's interpretation in order for me to understand what that image means to me. I was trying to explain this to my mother. We're going to get to the doggone thing. But I was trying to explain this to my mother. Like when we, growing up, just picture yourself riding in a car. Okay? This is how intuitive readers read. Picture yourself riding in a car. When you were little, you got to a stoplight. Your mama stopped the car when the light turns red. When the light turned back green, you went. When the light was yellow, you slowed down or proceeded with caution. Nobody told you anything. No, every time you pulled to that stoplight, your mama didn't say to you in the back seat or wherever you were sitting, I gotta stop now, honey. That's what that red light means. I gotta go now, honey. That's what that green light means. You watched, you saw with your own eyes, and you visualized, and you interpreted everything around you to understand when that red light hit, we stopped. And that allowed the people with the green light to go. When the green light, you know what I'm saying? When you see the little walking the white symbol on the thing, you knew there was time for people to walk across, because that's the only time they would do it. And when the tickers start clucking down, you start seeing the time, you knew time was running out. Time for them to hurry up. It was kind of oranges. Caution, let's go, let's go, let's go. You knew these things before you got 16 and started driving your own car. Now, when you turn 16, there's some other things that you possibly need to learn in order to pass your test. So you picked up the book and you thumbed through you learned the things that you didn't know, or things that you had confusion about, like how to turn your wheel when you're on a hill, whether you turn it to the right or turn it to the left, depending on if you're parked uphill or downhill. That's something that you'll learn from the book. You wouldn't learn that riding in a car, but you can't see the turn of the wheels when your parents park, if they actually did what they were supposed to do. Okay, so that's how intuitive readers read. We look at things around us, the signs, the symbols, the images on the card, and we see what we can see, and we see how it works with the other things. Like, okay, when the red light hit, the car stopped moving. Those two things are working together. We see how things work together, and that's how we come up with a reading. Okay, now let's back to the doggone showing of the card, and I'm probably gonna do a little reading with this. I did a reading for myself after just to see how these cards would work for me, and they read well. They read well. Y'all like to know about the card stock? The card stock is wonderful. It shuffles like a dream. I could do my bridge, all of that. We're gonna show you later. I'm gonna tilt these cards. Am I gonna tilt them or hold them up to you? I may hold them up to you. Okay, so I had, like I said, I already shuffled and used them, so I put the cards back in order so we can have them in order. And the suits, I don't remember what order the suits went into, so I'm gonna tell you why I put the suits in the way that I did. So after we have the Fool's Journey, which is what the majors are, after we have the Fool's Journey, I put the cups next. And the reason why I put the cups next is I was thinking of childbirth. So we are in our mother's wombs in water, okay? This is how we first enter the world, in water, in fluids, in liquids. So the next thing we have, because like I said, this deck, wands represent air. The next thing we have is the wands. So when we are birthed into this world, the first thing we do is take a breath. We breathe in and out. You know, that's what the doctors want us to do. Take that breath. We can't even see until like a week or so, you know, let's see clearly. So we take that breath and we get that breath of air. That's why I put the wands next. Then after, once we start moving along, moseying along in life, what we do, we learn how to crawl. We learn how to walk. We hit the ground. That's the pentacles. Okay? So then the next suit that I have for you, after the pentacles, after we hit the ground running, learn how to crawl, learn how to walk. Then, where the deck start? Where it start? And then we have fire, the swords, the deck of swords. Like I said, the elements are switched as far as the wands and the swords in this, which I really love. But we have the swords next, the fire. This is us learning, finding out what our passion is, getting into things, touching the stove and feeling that it's hot. You know, this is fire. That's what this is. Okay, so that's how I'm going to go through these decks, these pictures, these images for us today. Like I said, I'm probably going to try to do a reading. Hopefully I got time. We already got 12 minutes. It's a long video, y'all. Woo. Okay. I just want to thank y'all for actually being here on this channel. I appreciate y'all listening to me. Like I say, I'm very new to tarot reading. I've always been interested in reading tarot, and I started in June. So that's how new I am into the game. So let's start off first, shall we? We have the Fool card. Okay, he is high above the earth. He got 1 foot in between the sun and the moon. And he has not a care in the world. He just stepping off, taking a risk, going off into life, to the wilderness. And what I noticed about this card, there's no dog trying to hold him back. You know, the dog is your little trusty little loyal friend. And like a lot of the images when we showed the Fool, if you want to go back on my channel, I'm going through all the cards individually for the ones that I own, and I'm explaining what I see in the cards. In a lot of the cards, there's a dog that's either grabbing his foot or like barking at him like he's trying to warn him. And then there's like 1 or 2 cards I have with the dog just sitting there looking like, you damn fool. And this one, the loyal friend, the dog, does not exist. He's on this journey, on his own path, following his own mind, is the way that I see this one. I wanted to explain something. The back of the deck, I didn't show y'all that. How gorgeously beautiful the back of this deck is. Okay, so there's a fish, there's a bird, there's a squirrel, and there is a horse. Or is that a dog? I'm gonna find out. They put it in this book, and I wanted to read that specifically to explain those animals, the spirit animals itself. Let me take off my glasses. I can't read with my glasses on. The anatomy of the deck. That's the numerology. Okay, so here we go. There's a lot of things that they point out. That's a wolf. It's a wolf. Okay? And a dog. It could be one or the other. Okay? So we have The fish. The fish means or represents fertility, luck, joy, and the subconscious. I can relate to that. I relate to this symbolism breakdown when I do dream interpretation. There's a lot of turtles for patience, safety, longevity, and creativity. The dog is loyalty, protection, help, and comfort. As I was saying, the dog is missing from the food card. The squirrel is resourcefulness, preparation, energy, and prudence. The birds represent movement, swiftness, clear vision, a higher perspective. I never thought of it that way, that the birds represent a higher perspective. I like that. The winged insects, energy, quickness, activity, ephemeral quality. I don't know what the word ephemeral is. I will have to look that up. A wolf, instinct, intelligence, fear, and force. Then you have your bull, which is bullheaded, stubbornness, strength, virility, and willpower. And a lot of people didn't really associate the bull with virility, but in like Caribbean cultures, they eat bull ball soup, and a lot of the dudes do that to increase their stamina when having sex. So I can see virility going there. I just wanted to explain that real quick. Okay, because we're going to see a lot of animals in these cards. So we got your food. All right. You just a fool. No, I'm in love with you. Oh, I said I was going to read. Hey, 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 hey. This magician, I love that he's a person of color. And a lot of these cards seem to be connected. You see those towers in the background? I believe those towers one of those towers is the tower that's breaking down in this deck. You will see a lot of connected images. Do you notice that the snake in this one is shedding its old skin? You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of, I'm not going to like go into detail of what these all mean to me because I'm doing them in a series, but just some things I wanted to point out. The high priestess. Usually the high priestess has knowledge of things that you don't know. This high priestess is more of an oracle for me because you don't even know who she is. And I never tripped off that baby. It's a baby right there. I never tripped off that baby. There's a lot of babies in this deck too. Are they ugly ass babies? That baby look like it's already been mummified. But in her book, she has the symbols of the elements. There's a lot of Wiccan symbols in this deck that I don't understand, and I don't probably plan to know. But in that guidebook or that handbook, it breaks down a lot of the symbols that you see on these cards as well. I may get into them one day. Like these symbols here, it breaks those down. It also shows you some spreads. It shows you some spells. I don't need to know all the spells and stuff like that. And those are indeed pomegranates. Those are indeed pomegranates behind her. Her moon. Because I went through these cards already, I'm trying to go through them a little bit. Her moon is not at her feet. It's still rising high behind her. I love this Empress card. So we got that bull, that Taurus there represented. She's a little bit stubborn, a little bullheaded. The archway reminds me of home. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. That archway reminds me of the gateway to the west. So like there's a gateway that she is about to journey on, and she's looking back. Like, you know, something has always held her back. She's sitting down now. Surprise bull too. Okay. The Emperor. I love that it's not a human. I love that he's not a human. I'm gonna try to get to these decks pretty quickly though. Okay. Because we're running out of time. The Hierophant, the Pope. Again, I cannot pronounce it. And I heard it said so many different ways. I don't know which one is the correct pronunciation of it. But you notice that the male character has a tail. These two people seem like these are the ones who are coming before the Pope or the Hierophant before they meet with the devil. Maybe they didn't heed his advice, but he has a whip in his hand. Like he's gonna try to beat the knowledge into you. This reminds me of slavery. It reminds me of slavery with the whip, and then you had the Catholic Bible, so to speak, there, and how the Africans that were brought here to America were stripped of their culture, they were beat. Their culture was beat out of them. The way that they spoke, they were forbidden to read, but the Bible was forced upon us. The Lover's card. This looked like a same. This is like a same gender. I think the rainbow is very representative of that. I'm not understanding why there's an X in the middle of the heart. That's probably one of the symbols that I probably need to read up on. Their hands are bound together. So it reminds me of a Snow White type of thing, because you had that apple in the back. There may be some type of poison involved as far as like obtaining the one that you love. I love that this chariot does not have a human image or a character in it. It's just the horse itself galloping away. The lotus bloom flower is there. I like that he's above the world, above the earth, and the stars seem to be chasing him instead of going away and falling away. You see falling stars, but okay, the strength card. She's riding her lion, but there's a lot. The salamander, the frog, the snake are all going into the water to go into that guiding light, that glowing light of gold. I don't know what that is yet. I gotta look at that more deeply. But there's a lot of animals headed toward that egg, and there's something birthing and being born, courage being born out of it. The Hermit is a card I always love. I don't know why, but I just love that sense of solitude. He has his hourglass around his waistline. He has his light guiding his way. He's old. He's wise. There's things to learn that he has learned. You know, there's keys there. He's protecting that light. The Wheel of Fortune. I've seen this image somewhere else before. I want to say on a ship. That's a ship's wheel, and the monkey that's on the ship. Okay, and there's the word set is on the, I'm not sure what type of animal that is. And the word apep is on the snake. I don't know if those are the author's initials or if that means something in the Wiccan culture. I'm going to look that up. Lady Justice, she's holding her pomegranate. She is not blind in this one. You see that there's male images carved into the columns. It looks like this one is a protector, and this one seems to be gathering or feeding her the information. So maybe the enforcer here. And there's the Wheel of Fate above her head. Like you never know which way the wheel is going to turn to justice. This Hanged Man, I love. I love that it's not the man hanging upside down from the tree by his foot. It is a mummy, encased, enclosed, strapped in, but still bound by that tree. I love that Hangman. The Death card is so frightening. This Death card, you see the image of the man here, there's like a zombified, and there's his face on the ground, and then there's hands coming up out the ground too. There's a cauldron boiling in the back underneath the full moon. Is that a full moon or new moon, y'all? But the cauldron's on top of a bunch of skulls. This Death card here, it says something very dark. Very dark. Temperance card. Temperance is always just seems to be about patience to me. He ain't worried about nothing. He gives no fucks. He looks a little bit snooty at the same time. He has his Pegasus wings on his Achilles heels, you know what I'm saying? Strength. He's powerful. And I always looked at these as like blood, but this is like wine. Sharing with himself. All right, so here's the Devil card. Very creepy looking. It's been a good one for Halloween. And those the couple I seen there in front of the Hierophant, I figured that's them. I know she's not green, but still. Yeah, this is them in their gluttonous stages. She still kind of look like she could have used to be green. It's the tower, the lightning striking that tower that I saw in the magician card. And in this one, you see that at the bottom they're trying to escape. She's like a crab in a barrel. She's going over this man's head to get herself out, and he's holding them back. Like, I wish you would come out there. You're gonna die with everybody else. Time is ticking out. Another very native card that I love, the Star. The hopes and dreams are being poured out in abundance. But I see that they're crying. Oh, I need to really look at that. There's some deepness in here. The moon. I really don't like moon cards too much. I love this one. I love that the little doggy and the wolf, they're together. I don't always see, but sometimes I see this as an identity crisis going on here, or seeing who you really could be, embracing that. This is where I want to go. This is who I am inside. We got Rapunzel for the sun, baby, and she got babies. She got a little baby down there. She's spinning her gold. Hey, girl, yes. Okay, oh, the ship back there is being struck by lightning. Y'all see that? Okay, I'm trying to this video go. This Judgment card, this reminds me of something that should have been on the Devil card. You have the little eyedropper. She's opening up and taking all that in, and he's opening. That's a she. That's a she. There's somebody else in the pot cooking. That's a lot going on in it. That's fun. Look at this, sister. Go ahead, girl. Go on, girl. The world. Yes. Look, that. See, I love cards that represent who I am as a person. I love decks that has some of me in it. Yes, this is it. The world card. She's got the whole world. Listen to black women. All right, so we're gonna run through these other cards real quick. Like, y'all know what they are. The Ace. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The Page, the Knight, the Queen, and the King. All right, so here we go. Cups. Some ugly ass fish. They so ugly, they cute. Another same-sex couple for the Two of Cups. 3 of Cups. There's a male image in the 3 of Cups. In most decks, it's all usually 3 women. They drunk. 4 of Cups. I always like this 4 of Cups. I love it when I see it with the Temperance card shows up together and the Hermit card together. 5 of Cups. This is the first time that I've seen that he was trying to turn water into wine. I always thought that it was blood spilled on the ground, but he's turning water into wine. 6 of Cups. I love that generational vibe going on there. Change of seasons in the background. 7 of Cups. 8 of Cups. Y'all notice something different about this 8 of Cups? He's not walking away from the cups. He's walking toward them. He's going to the cups this time. This is what I'm saying I love about how the difference of directions. In the 9 of Cups, this is a genie coming up out of these, baby. Your wish is my command. That's why I love the different images on different cards. The 10 of Cups, that family vibe. These are all adults. Different places, from different tribes, so to speak, coming together, being unity. I see more unity there than the family. The Page of Cups. Got your third party situation. It's the first time I've seen a third party situation in the cups, in pages. Usually threes represent third party situations too. I love that he's riding on that fish. That's just a happy night. She looked like, bitch, what? Say something. Say something. I love all the queens in this deck. All the queens. The king looked like Santa Claus. He's got his Poseidon, his trident there. Okay. Let's get on, move on with the get on. So this video won't run. This video finna be long, especially if I add a read to the end of it. Ace of Wands. Two of Wands. You see he's bound. He's bound by his feet and bound by his hands, but he looks happy. Like he tied himself there. I love this card. I'm not gonna say shit about it. Oh, beautiful. Four of Wands, another same-sex union. Interracial as well. And again, here the Wands, they don't seem to be fighting each other. They are trying to knock down this beehive, this wasp hive with the blinders on. Then you got this one dude standing back there looking at like, you damn fools. Another one I absolutely love. Six of Wands. Yes. Seven of Wands. This is the conquering here. The Eight of Wands. So you have these wands of going up into the air instead of falling down. And the direction in which they're traveling. North, east, west, south. So they're traveling east. So when I do my directions, this is traveling northeast for me. So I'm gonna see if I can implement that into. Oh, I'm reading something in my eye. Sorry, y'all. Nine of Wands. This reminds me of the Eight of Swords. She seems to be trapped, but she seems like she's trying to protect herself. Ten of Wands. I'm going to pause it after I do these wands and then start the video over after this, okay? Page of Wands. Knight of Wands. Lying on that doggone bird. Is that a falcon? Queen of Wands. I say I love these queens, baby. And the King of Wands. All right, I'm going to pause it here and then I'll start the video over. All right, let's pick back up with the Ace of Pentacles. Pentacles. Sometimes I don't pronounce the hard T. There's the squirrel that we was talking about. The Two. There's a dog in this one. The dog seems to be bringing him some food. There's a big ship out there in the water. Okay. Then you see this little ship. There's people in it. That's the Six of Swords. I'm telling you, that's the Six of Swords. These are all connected in some fashion. I love the yin and yang symbol that a lot of these characters are adorning. He has this on his hat. The Three of Pentacles, like he's teaching the children about something. There's knowledge to be shared, knowledge to be had. And one of the, like when I'm looking at these cards and I'm trying to learn the seasons and give people like seasonal time frames, I'm looking at the trees. You see that there's apples already on the trees in full bloom. That helps me determine what season this is in. Four of Pentacles. In my tarot professional group, we were discussing the Four of Pentacles, and majority of everybody thought this Four of Pentacles was a stingy card. He's being stingy and selfish. I always looked at this card as somebody being very protective of what they have, things that they find valuable. And in this one, I read a little bit of both, but you see the trap that's set there. He's trying to protect that treasure for me. Whether he's being stingy or just, you know, protecting what he finds valuable. Either way, it's a sign of protection. There's coin there, there's food there, you know, and he got it hidden out in the woods. Five of Pentacles is also representing another same-sex couple. They may not even be a couple, but at this one, usually the Five of Pentacles, you see like the lady and the little boy walking in the snow, and they're walking past the house, and there's a light on in the house, and some tarot readers interpret that as struggle, not knowing where to get help. This particular one is telling me that they are not welcomed. Look at the dog or the wolf, and it's the expression on the wolf's face. The lock on the door. You are not welcome here. This is what I'm seeing here. Six of Pentacles. This dude looked like Ezekiel from The Walking Dead. These women are bowing at his feet, sucking up everything that he has to offer. Usually Six of Pentacles can mean so much for me, but this one right here, I see this as he got his pimp game on. And these women are eating up everything he says. He's somebody that you need to probably watch out for. Seven of Pentacles. She has her crystals and she's adding the water to make the tree grow. Eight of Pentacles. Usually see somebody with a hard worker. He's building a home around a dog and a squirrel and his treasure as well, the squirrel's treasure, the bags of money, you know, he's keeping that protected as well. He's not the only one. I see a lot of finance in these pentacles here, more than being grounded, like I see in some other ones, being connected to nature. The Nine of Pentacles is usually, to me, the lady is rested and just like chilling and like reflecting about what she got. She doesn't seem happy. She seems walled in. Like there's something on the other side of that wall that she could get to. The squirrel is blinded. He has a hoodie on, you know what I'm saying? Ten of Pentacles. Page. He's not the first Asian character, but this first one that you can like really see clearly. This Knight is about that business, baby. She is nurturing her money. She's rocking it like it's a baby. And this king right here is full of riches, darling. Oh, he's sexy too. I can give you my number. I'm telling you. That King of Pentacles right there, baby. He got it going on. Sure enough. My favorite deck or suit. Like, being that this is the Ace of Swords, and the Swords is represented by fire in this one, it no longer represents me. I'm an air sign. I'm a Gemini. Am I Cancer? Wait a minute, it's Cancer? Cancer? Hold on, let me see something because I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head. I told you I never really remember these. The Swords is usually Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And the Wands are usually Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. But in this deck, since this is the Ace of Swords and the Swords is represented by fire, this is the Aries, Leo, and the Sagittarius. I'm air and water. I'm Gemini, Moon, Gemini, Cancer. But I love this deck. I just do. And the Hierophant, not the Hierophant, the High Priestess and the Justice card are my birth cards. Okay, so here we go. This puts me in mind of the freaking Game of Thrones. I think I love all the cards with the black women on it. She looks like Zoe Zaldana. Damn, Queen. Come through. Come through. This Three of Swords is an actual damn heart, baby. Four Swords is usually I find somebody that's at peace, at rest, and they're not worried about the threat that's around them. Okay. He's not threatened at all by these wolves. He not worried at all about frostbite. He done took his shoe off, lit the candle, laying there in snow, chillaxing. Okay, now you see all these wolves around him? I figured that's where the wolves was going. Either going or coming or leaving in this Five of Swords. He ready for battle. Usually you see the Five of Swords, you see like two men standing off looking at the water, and you have the third one back there looking like he had victory over them because the other two look defeated. He here is a totally different vibe. The Six of Swords, I told you, is a totally different vibe for me. This is them in the water for me. Instead of them going away, they're coming to. He looks like Poseidon to me. She has her Pandora's box. Y'all know I just got that new bracelet with the Pandora's box on. She has a Pandora's box in there. And they're going on a journey. They don't have any children in this one, because there's usually children as well. But there's something up ahead that he's seeing that's causing him concern. Seven of Swords. Stealing away in the middle of the night. Stealing. Being cautious. Not to wake the sleeping wolf. And he's thinking, there's one more sword back there. Can I get that without waking him up? That's what he's thinking. Eight of Swords. Usually the Eight of Swords is a woman. I love the fact that it's a man. He doesn't seem to be surrounded by the swords as if he can't get out. They're just on the side of him. There's a bull behind him. He's tied up. His arms are tied up. His legs are tied up. He's blindfolded. Nine of Swords. People normally see the Five of Cups as grief, and I didn't see grief at all in that Five of Cups. But I see grief in this one, in the Nine of Swords. I see grief. And it's almost like these cards are working in reverse, because I see this person grieving the Ten of Swords. The 9 swords that they have on the ground here in the fire is the 9 swords that was in the back of the king. With his, he's still holding his sword in his hand. That's what I see. And for some reason, to me, this page seems like to be the one that killed the king to me. I don't know why. These knights, this knight is charging on, baby. He's bringing that same sword. I think this is the one that may have killed the king. I tell you, I got a whole story going on here. I got a whole story. He's grieving the knives that was in the king. There's the king with the 9 knives in his back and the one sword in his hand. They took that one sword. They the ones that did the dirty work. Yep. Now he's bringing the one sword back to the queen. And the queen got him right there. And that's the king right there. But like the story is working backwards. Okay, here he is on his throne. She wanted to be the one rocking that sword. It was meant to be hers. You know what I'm saying? I'm just making up a story in my head as I go. All right, y'all. That is the Spellcaster's Tarot deck, the modern Spellcaster Tarot deck. I absolutely love the deck. I'm going to tilt the camera here now.